Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the business news here on Midday Live. My name is Alfred Akonse. Let's go on to our first story this afternoon. The chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Chartered Institute of Administrators and Management Consultants, Paul Hammond, says business administrators should work in tandem with national policies to safeguard the organizations. He explained the business environment may be impacted directly or indirectly by government policies.
At the first Chartered Institute of Administrators and Management Consultant meeting in Accra, Paul Hammond stated any mismanagement of the economy will dip investor confidence.
The CEOs would have the opportunity to discuss among themselves common organizational issues. Look at topical national issues and policies that affect our organizations and therefore growth. We also must look at the economy and the environment in which we do business and how it affects us.
The Chief Executive Officer of Greenfield Financial Services underscored the need for business owners to employ qualified people to manage their businesses.
The ability of the organization to achieve its goal contributes to the nation's achievement of our national goals. We believe that administration is a discipline which requires specific skills. It is inappropriate to just take a family member because it's a family business and then make that person the head of your business. It is risky because that person may not have that trained mind.
The guest speaker, Mahini of Asinkushe, Ehunabobrim Nanapra Agency, the Sith, was worried the appointment into management positions are made without any training, an approach he described as a recipe for disaster.
I've had the privilege of interviewing some ministers for jobs and they failed. They became ministers. It's not surprising. CEOs must do politics. Don't be allowed by those who have put on classical political jacket to take over the management of this country and deny you of your right to participate, because in most cases you are probably more qualified than them. You will not be able to create any opportunity for anybody's career.
The Chartered Institute of Administrators and Management Consultants aims at promoting excellence in the practice of professional administration by chartering and regulating its members.
Let's go to the Ashanti region now. And there was blackout in some parts of Kumasi on Thursday after a reactor at the electricity company of Ghana, ECG, substation at Ridge exploded. Ashanti Regional Public Relations Officer of the ECG, Erasmus Bedo, has been speaking with Ashanti Regional Correspondent William, that's Evans Income, and he's joined me on the telephone. Evans, if you can hear me, good afternoon to you. And has the situation been resolved as yet?
Well, good afternoon, Alfred. Well, as I'm speaking to you now, the technicians are on it. They are putting things in order to ensure that the exploded earth reactor is brought back to shape. We actually, at this point, we don't know whether there's going to be a total replacement or they are just going to do some repair works on the exploded reactor. But I've been joined by the Ashanti Regional Public Relations Manager of ECG, Mr. Erasmus Bedu, to run us through what is actually happening. So, Mr. Erasmus, a very good afternoon to you. And yeah, so what are we assured that you're going to have power restored at the close of day?
Well, thank you very much. The way it is, we are making sure that within the next 24 hours, at least we'll pick a lot of the load. And by close of work tomorrow, everybody should be on supply. And as it is now, this reactor is completely bent. There's absolutely nothing that we can do with it. We have to replace it totally. And we have sent an SOS message to Accra. A new one is coming down, and so by 3 o'clock we hope it will arrive, and then we'll dismantle this one and then fix a new one. Likewise, the cables that are up there, high tension cable, all of them got bent. As you can see, our men are there working. We are going to replace all of them.
Now, we want to know what actually sparked that fire. What caused it?
Well, we have some men in this building. We call it the control room. As you can see, we are doing some expansion work. We'll let all that we find in this switchyard into the control room, and we can have an indoor control room. But apart from that, what happened was that we had an explosion. It just happened, boom, and we saw smoke and fire engulfing the area. Quickly, we brought in the fire service.
Could it be linked to a weak cable?
I wouldn't say it's a weak cable. These are technical issues.
Right.
When you're talking about these things, we have to be very careful because we can't assume, we can't make suggestions and so on. The assumptions don't work when you have a very typically technical area like this. We have to go to the bottom of it to find out what exactly might have caused.
So, thank you, Evans.
All right. Thank you so much. So, Alfred, well, that is the situation. The men are on the ground just working feverishly to ensure that a new earth reactor is replaced, to also ensure that power is restored to the entire Kumasi metropolis. Alfred.
Evans, thank you very much for the updates there. William Evans in Kumasi, Ashanti regional correspondent, just getting us some details of this latest situation with respect to the explosion yesterday that caused total darkness in some parts of Kumasi in the Ashanti region there. Now, away from that, the managing director of the International Monetary Fund has said countries with high and increasing debt like Ghana need to pursue further fiscal consolidation measures. Christine Lagarde added that these fiscal policies must also be growth-friendly.
The press at this year's spring meetings in Washington on the way forward for the global economy, Ms. Lagarde also stressed the need for monetary policy to be linked closely with fiscal measures. According to her, monetary policy without structural and fiscal policy cannot achieve much results. It will be recalled that Ghana's central bank in 2014 instituted a number of monetary policy measures to check the depreciation of the cedi, but those policies failed to work, much to the dismay of industry and businesses. Ghana, which is struggling to contain its high budget deficit, is already implementing a number of fiscal consolidation measures that it hopes will narrow the deficit. The country is currently undergoing an IMF program to boost investor confidence. A recent report published by the IMF has lowered Ghana's growth rate to 4.5 instead of the 5.4, which is being targeted by government largely due to the decline in commodity prices. The fund, according to its new fiscal monitor report, is also predicting the country will end with a debt of GDP ratio of 74.1%, raising concerns about government's own fiscal consolidation measures.
So that's it for business.